Right. So Niantic brought up a new IP, a feature where you can click on appraise. So it's an appraisal option. This option is when you go on your Pokemon, you click it, and it'll show a little list. You can click on items, you can click on appraisal or transfer, whatever have you. Appraisal. So your what do you call it? Your team lead. Let's just say that your team lead, right? Depending on what team you're in, they will tell you, let's take a look at this Pokemon. Oh, this Pokemon, and it's a ratio of 1 to 4 stars. And the 1 to 4 stars has the graphic of 0 to 15, and 15 attack, 15 defense, and then I think there's 15 stamina. And right there is the ratio of what exactly your Pokemon has. So what is the IVs of the Pokemon? That plays an important part for the player-by-player matches that I aforementioned. I'll get to that in just a little bit. More often than not, people want the best IV for Pokemon, and they feel if they have Pokemon 96, 98, 100, or 15 attack, 15 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina, your Hundo, they're gonna max out that Pokemon, or at the very least, they want to keep that Pokemon in their roster. Perhaps put a star and know that that's a Hundo or 100% Pokemon, and so that's how it works. It just makes you say, I want to keep this Pokemon. Nah, I can toss this Pokemon if it's a bad IV. PvP, certain IVs work differently. So most Silph Arena tournaments are in the Great League. So this is your 1500 and lower CP Pokemon, and the IVs will depend on just how tanky the certain Pokemon will be, or how much charge move priority it could obtain, having a high attack, and then the base stats of a certain Pokemon. The base stats, natural base stats of a Pokemon like Ivysaur will be lower than natural base stats of Venusaur, but Ivysaur being a Pokemon on a second stage will have a bigger curve or a stronger curve than a Venusaur would, for the 1500 range. Since Venusaur's CP will be higher, it also means it will have less growth. Right, it will match up to 1500 with the meter a little lower, while Ivysaur's meter will be much higher, making Ivysaur a tankier and perhaps a more sustainable Pokemon than Venusaur, and then so on and so forth for certain other Pokemon. So there's graphs to identify what Pokemon is best in regard to what cup, and then how close you can get it to 1500, and then if your priority is to have it bulky, if your priority is to have your Pokemon with high attack stats, meaning that it can get to its charge move, and then have the priority to have the charge move before another person if there's a draw. That happens when there's two trainers with Pokemon that have the opportunity to hit their moves at the same time, and then usually whoever has the higher attack IV will get the first priority. It can definitely switch. It can definitely change scaling. If you're in a situation where there's no shields in PvP, and it's down to whoever has the first charge move to kill, and if it's not yours, then I mean the game's over for you. If it is yours, then the game's over for them. All of those play into matches, but IVs are very important for people who play PvP. They want to measure up how their Pokemon are, and so that's that. People that don't play PvP, you'll probably just end up transferring to candy, and then just build up on your candy, and once you get the good IV Pokemon, you may perhaps afterwards level it up. So there's a setting that at this moment in time, because of what's going on, what is that? So that means that people can do tournaments from wherever they're at and can still do the same tournament. Sending one GIF, normally there's a little meter. It goes from good friends to great friends, and it goes from there on. Now the meter is where you can PvP someone with just one GIF. So once you send a GIF and it turns into good friends, you can PvP that person from wherever you're at. And so that's how they changed that for that. But you're absolutely right. Normally it would be you have to be to great friends, and then you're able to challenge them, because beforehand you can just simply scan their QR code with the other phone, and now you're into a match. and you would have to wait until great friends if you want to fight from whatever distance. And so yeah, you're right. So they change it so it's remote. They can garner on Discord. They'll go on Discord or Telegram or whatever other people have, because you can go worldwide. They'll simply have the link saying we're gonna do it here. This is the link. If it's a Discord, Telegram, they use other things also. South America, I said Southern America, and then organized. They'll give a code, the little tournament code. People go in, they set their Pokemon, and then once it's set and ready, and the tournament organizer hits the button to start the tournament, it'll automatically line up with the opponent. And all you guys have to do is just you have the option on the Silph website. You can just put your friend code right there, so they can just go on their phones, type the friend code, the other person accepts it, then they send the gift, the other person accepts the gift, and you guys are good to go.
How many players do you usually see in these types of tournaments?
It can go from 15, 18 people, 18 people to right now remotes. There's certain remotes that can go well over 100 people. The max is 128. The max is 128. The biggest tournament I've seen was the mega tournament that we had in 2019. Was in 2019. Yeah, it will be 2019 for the battle. It was titled the Battle of Los Angeles, hosted by YouTuber King IV, and another YouTuber called Trainer Chips, and they hosted a over 300 player tournament, 9 rounds, for 12 hours. 12 hours. Was that 12 or 1? Good tournament. Perhaps I'm going a little exaggerating on that. Probably 9 or 10 hours. A lot of people. A lot of tables. We had a little what do you call it? We started off the tournament by having the person that does the Pokemon song from the first season. He performed a little concert for us and sang the Pokemon theme for us, and we started off. Pokemon Master Holly was also a big help there. Sir Maximus was a big help there. Those are people that hopefully if they see this video, it was a great tournament. I'm glad that you guys were able to organize it, and everything went very well. That's the most I've seen. There was another tournament in Orlando. I didn't get to go. That tournament in Orlando was to about 200 people. And I'm assuming similar scenario. It was just a lot of people. People like to meet up with their fellow YouTubers, or they just love the battle scene, and they all garner there. For these local ones that were here before we closed down the pandemic, we were getting like 15, 18. So that's 5 rounds, perhaps more. We would have the most going into a city called Newhall, and we would have 70, 80 people there. And we're all in there. Not only now I'm remote, it can jump very quickly because anyone can do a tournament from anywhere. So you can have people from perhaps India, for example, Singapore, come do tournaments here, and vice versa. So you can do plenty of things. And yeah, they cap it at 128 to not have too much of an issue with that, and then you just go from there. We're currently in season 3. I decided to take a little bit of a break for this season. I'm most definitely going to be, if there's a season 4, I'm most definitely going right back in. The end of season 2 is where I was doing remote, because that's when we first got locked down. And it's a different feeling. It's a different feeling because you prepare yourself going to a city. You prepare yourself. I will call it doing your homework. You go to YouTube. See what the content creators are doing for their Pokemon. Then you will go to other websites like pppoke.com. Check the IVs of Pokemon and see how they're doing, and then you will have little skirmishes with your friends and try to see how you're measuring up, how quick a Pokemon's fast move gets to a charge move. And so it's a lot of numbers game, right? You start counting the fast attacks in your hand. You're seeing what beats what, or what could be good to a bait. Perhaps if you want to psych your opponent out, if you use a bait, how would that work? If it'll work, and just what type of opponents you'll have. That would normally happen. Remote, well, you can't really study your opponent because it can be anyone. Unless if you had a prior experience with that opponent, you're facing someone new every time. and the way they think is very likely going to be different. I would say as you get to a higher level of the game, because there's certain levels. You start off as trainer, I think from trainer, then you go to rival, rival goes to challenger, and then to ace, and then from ace it goes on into the other categories. I think from trainer to rival, you have to expect the unexpected, because with new people, they don't quite have the mentality, but they also, because they don't have the quiet mentality, your mentality won't exactly work because they might not think the way you think they should, and so you psych yourself out sometimes, right? Going into challenger, going into ace, uh, they would have an understanding how things would work, and you would play it knowing that if they see you having this, they will react this way, and that gives you a clearance to say, okay, they're going to react like this, so I want to make sure that I'm playing into my game and I'm not playing into theirs. So I can be prepared. They can take out my Pokemon here, and I can come up with this Pokemon, stock up energy, take their Pokemon. So when the next one comes in, I'm ready to unload my energy on them. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it sounds like some crazy mind games, like almost like a chess game. Just you gotta understand what your next opponent's possible move is, so that you can counteract that move.
mhm.
So, and do you play a lot of chess at all? I mean,
Sure
it
have.
sounds. Oh man, it sounds like a chess player type of game, honestly. And so, you do a lot of chess playing and stuff, or?
I do. I've been playing chess for about 23 years. I'm not. I wouldn't say of myself anything good or anything. I'll put myself decent. I'll just leave it for the people that see it so they can rate me. I put myself decent. That mentality of learning how to play chess, just learning how to do strategy. I think that carries anywhere, not just in video games, but just in almost every aspect. And certainly in PvP, it will work. It will work as the people will read you. They will know how you are over time that you play with them. They're gonna know. Oh, Naota's uber aggressive, or Naota likes to fake a lot. So if I get a now actually that actually sounds like poker to me, because with poker you tell a story, how you play a hand, how you go about the actions of playing a hand, and then if you trick or if you show that you trick too much, they're gonna say you're a trickster, um, and so when you do that again, perhaps you're not tricking anymore. And also with PvP, it's just what are you telling the opponent, how you behave, how you go about certain situations. When you do have a good lead, how do you take advantage of that lead? When you don't have a good lead, how do you transition so you can pace the game and play on the defensive? How good are you on the defensive? How good are you in pressure situations where it just comes to the very last attacks? Certainly, certainly the best player doesn't win every time, right? Sometimes luck is involved, sometimes connections is involved, and that's another topic too. With remote playing, there's controversy sometimes in regard to people, when there's mistakes made, when there's connections issues, how to report these issues. So we come up right now with, you can just every match that you play, you record it on your phone, and when you record it and if there's any discrepancies, you can take it to a tournament organizer and have them review the video decision. If there was an issue out of the control, perhaps lag or a button stopped working, or you just simply didn't do the action, and so that's something that I've seen more people taking into action. I myself haven't done a tournament for me to organize it. I've done the little mini ones, but nothing to where I would have to go out of my way, take a look into people's videos and stuff. Because when you used to do it live, uh, one would just show, say, "Oh, I can't hit the button." More often than not, they just say, "Okay, let's just restart, same three Pokemon," and then just go about the scenario. Um, so remote has had that with people having to transition to doing that. Mhm.
Yeah, would you like not just like screencast your phone and capture it, but would you have like a camera on the actual phone and what you're doing physically with your hands and stuff too, or?
Mm, no, I don't think I've had. I think that's only happened when someone else is streaming, and we just happen to be the people that are there, and their camera is watching us sitting down, and then we're tapping on our phones, and then more often than not, there's not much to see because the player is just tapping. It would be just the way you're tapping. what they really look at is they want to get the gameplay of the screen. So they'll get like a match of them playing, and just what actions are you deciding to take upon. So they'll screen capture, the current match. They won't really screen capture just us tapping. I've certainly seen it. I've seen it only once on one of the New Hall tournaments when they were hosting it, and I happened to be the third matchup with my opponent, and they just show this on your phone. You just tap, and that's kind of it. No, there's not too much to it. Um, but they definitely show for sure the match. Their Pokemon against your Pokemon, and what do you do? What do you do against them? Very happily, I was able to win that match. So, but and it's no she was very good too. My opponent, she was very good. I ended up befriending her. Afterwards, she's from the Bakersfield area. Very very good trainer. Um, and so that's what they mostly graph. And yeah, so that's what I'm currently at. I'm currently there as Naota5k. For PvP wise, the people that do recognize, they recognize me as that. And then the people I currently hang out with, they don't call me Naota, they call me David, but they immediately recognize when we're doing raids or we're doing PvP, or when we're out doing community day. We actually have community day coming up next Saturday. I think it's gonna be Fletching, which is a Gen 6 starter, not starter Pokemon, but one of the early Pokemon you can get in the game, kind of like your Pidgeys. Um, and so there's an opportunity for a good amount of shiny Fletchings. You can end up evolving into a shiny Talonflame. So that'll be that'll be that'll be what will be going on. Currently that's where I'm at. I'm known as Naota. I mean, League of Legends, when I play, I have three handles, but the one I play the most is with Naota5k. Alright, unranked, keep it kind of clean, keep it kind of low. If I rank it too high, then with the people that I play around with, the ELO or the MMR is too high. If I keep it too low, then it'll be too much of a cakewalk for the people that I play around with, and you can't really do it because your MMR will increase like that anyway. So that's that. The main one I have. There's another one that I have for me. That one's more exclusive to just ranking, but I have no idea. I'm probably thinking of changing its name. I've stopped. I sort of stopped recently with watching sports or listening to sports. Um, nothing bad or nothing good. It's just more of that I feel that I'm transitioning to something different. Right? I'll still play them, of course. I mean, when things get better and things open up, play baseball, play basketball. Of course, I'll be able to. I don't feel I'm too rusty for sure, but let's see. I think that's it in regard to that. There's certainly a lot of things coming up. A lot of great stories Pokemon Go wise, because there's a lot of good stories personal wise. Birthday parties with Pokemon Go people. Those more often those just become like your stories that you have with your friends. Yeah, you all can tell afterwards. Oh yeah, this person this or this person that. It feels like a camaraderie. And very very much so. Very nice. It's a very nice feeling.
Thank you, gamers, for joining us for this conversation. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe so you can see more of this interview and others like it. Have a good one, you guys.